Alright, I didn't want to release this video. I didn't want to release this video for a couple of reasons. One reason is my opinion on cryptocurrency has changed somewhat since I recorded it, and I felt it was inconsistent to release it. The second one is when I actually edited the video, I sound like a maniac ranting. And whilst I often do that, I felt like the whole video was too unhinged, but then I had a chat to my buddy Ty, and he said, look man, you just gotta not be a pussy about this and actually release this and cop the heat. So this is the video I didn't want to release on cryptocurrency, and I'm now doing a second one with my revised opinion on cryptocurrency. So without further ado, I bring you the rantings of a madman. G'day guys, Money Cat here. I'm holding $30,000 in US bills. Well, they're actually fake $30,000 in US bills, and they're utterly worthless, much like cryptocurrency. I didn't even want to film this episode. In fact, I wasn't going to film it until I got so pissed off about it that I felt like I actually needed to as a PSA. So as another PSA, regardless of how you feel about cryptocurrency and other Ponzi schemes, feel free to subscribe and like my video, as well as comment on your thoughts on cryptocurrency, but whatever they are, they're wrong. Let's kick it off. Why do I hate cryptocurrency? First of all, I don't hate cryptocurrency. Plot twist. Full disclosure, in 2017-18, I actually made about 10 grand off cryptocurrency. Then I sold out of it. Cryptocurrency is this weird asset class that's somewhere between a currency, a stock, a digital asset. It's this gray area. If one more person tells me that Bitcoin is going to take over fiat currency, I'm actually going to set them on fire. Because if cryptocurrency takes over the US dollar or Australian dollar or British pound or euro because they collapse, we are going to be out the front of our houses with pitchforks and AK-47s, and my cat's going to have war paint on, and I'm going to be fighting and killing people and eating them because society will have collapsed. Who will be mining the currency? Who will have an FPOS machine and phones and shit when society collapses? It's just crazy. There's like this weird like libertarian anarchist wet dream that like cryptocurrency is going to take over and no one's going to be tied to the dollar. Everyone calm down. Let's go through a few other reasons. In fact, I'm all hot and bothered now about it. Cryptocurrency is unregulated. That's a problem because it means anyone can scam you about it anytime. The reason why shares and stocks and things like that take so long to deal with and set up and run, and there's so much compliance, is because regulation exists to protect investors in the marketplace. That's what it's there for. The fact that companies still go under when they're highly regulated should show you the danger in the marketplace that exists. There's no regulation. Remember those schemes in 2018 when you just start up a fucking coin, pump it up, tell everyone to put money in, then you just disappear? You can still do that. There's no regulation around what's going on with this trading. Because it's highly, highly unregulated, it's extremely volatile, and the volatility is purely of external fear and greed type behaviors. You're trading in a highly, highly volatile space, and people are borrowing money to do it. That's even crazier. So to take a step back, if you have a whole bunch of investments, let's say your net worth is, let's say you got 10 grand of spare money in savings. If you want to get into crypto, use 1 grand max. Use a small portion. Don't just throw it all in. So one of the problems we have, and to a lesser extent we have this problem in the stock market as well, but especially with cryptocurrency, is it's driven purely by fear and greed and essentially social media and media coverage. You have a whole generation of people not applying any fundamentals to this asset class because fundamentals don't exist. Why is it worth $1? Why is it worth $50,000? Why is it worth anything? No one knows. And don't give me this thing that like fiat currency, which is like the US dollar, isn't worth anything either. Technically correct, but there's the backing of an entire government and wide acceptance on that dollar. Currency is essentially a mechanism of storing value for exchange. So the reason paper currency came up, and there's a really good book on this called The History of Money. I forget who wrote it, I'll put it in the notes. Coins, notes, currency is a method of me saying, I want to buy a loaf of bread, but I sell you a fish. So rather than have to do this weird fish bread barter exchange thing, you give me a bit of paper that says, hey, this is worth $5, so a loaf of bread. So currency has no inherent value. When people get upset about devaluing currency, which is one of the big crypto things, it doesn't really matter that much unless you're holding heaps of value in currency. Don't hold tons of cash. It doesn't make any f***ing sense. You shouldn't be holding hard cash. You should be putting it into other stuff. So I don't really care if dollars get devalued or not because it's relative to its own purchasing power. It doesn't matter. So the next problem is, let's assume that Bitcoin becomes the global currency. Everyone seems to be sprouting that it's unregulated by government, so it's pure. That's not a good thing. Governmental currency controls exist for a reason. When governmental currency controls go awry, you end up with shit like the Great Depression because they didn't know what they were doing. The availability of dollars and inflation and interest rates is what matters here. In these COVID times, in these unprecedented times, we're printing shitloads of money to essentially keep the currency and the economy afloat, which devalues the dollar. But that's fine because inflation is still low. If inflation gets really, really high, and inflation is when essentially the prices of everything go up, then we need to increase interest rates to slow down inflation. This is like a triangle. Once inflation starts going up, rates will inevitably go up, which will taper off inflation. But inflation's fine unless inflation gets to a level where it's out of control. My point is, like, the financial system isn't just some randomly made up bullshit that everyone's going along with. There's a whole bunch of levers in place that go along to ensure stability. Cryptocurrency is a random new asset class that inherently isn't worth anything. It may be. Maybe Bitcoin will get adopted as the mainstream currency. It doesn't really make any fucking sense because I'd rather have a more efficient piece of currency running that doesn't require like a nuclear power plant to keep it going. Maybe Ethereum will. Who knows? Maybe neither of them will. Maybe something will happen that doesn't even exist yet. The fact that it's worth $50,000 and like 2 days ago went down 25% in one day should show you the risk involved. There's also equal likelihood that Bitcoin will literally be worth zero at some point because the only reason its value increases is because more and more people want to buy it. Why do they want to buy it? Because one day it might get mass adopted. It's so risky. In fact, it's literally less risky buying a brand new startup stock than a cryptocurrency. As an example, I bought Afterpay about 18 months ago at $6.49, maybe it was 2 years ago, at $6.49. They're now $128 a share. That return is basically as good as cryptocurrency, but I have all of the regulation of the entire Australian stock market and regulatory framework on it. So if you're gonna put your time into put your time into actual companies that are gonna make money at some point, not some libertarian's wet dream about a future currency. It's just insane. In fact, cryptocurrency and frankly, the broader stock market investing trends at the moment seem to just be a giant Ponzi scheme that are in no way related to fundamentals. Why is Tesla's value so high? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Is everyone in the world gonna drive a Tesla? These valuations are just absolutely out of control. This is literally, people are treating investing like gambling at the moment or gaming at the moment, and everyone's an expert in the market when the market's going up. I remember in 2017 and 18, everyone was popping up crypto advisor accounts, cryptocurrencies, starting their own coins. Everyone was a crypto expert until the market crashed, and then everyone shut the fuck up about cryptocurrency until about a year ago when it reared its head again and everyone was bored at home on social media with COVID and decided to start playing the fucking cryptocurrency and stock market like it was a video game. And this is where we're gonna be. This will not end well. This much growth is not sustainable. When inflation creeps up and interest rates increase and the money supply starts dropping again, this whole thing will fall apart. That's my take on cryptocurrency. I want to make a few extra points. 1, blockchain conceptually is valid. Decentralized ledgers as a concept have inherent value in things like trade, smart contracts, legal frameworks. There's lots and lots of use cases for them. Global currency, fucking weird, doesn't really make sense. Secondly, if you want to invest in highly speculative adventures, that's fine. Invest a small portion you can afford to lose. Don't throw your life savings into some zany ass computer scheme. You know what my final point is? I've actually come back to this. My final point about cryptocurrency is it's now in this kind of weird cult Ponzi scheme, MLM, pyramid scheme like phase. You know why? Because if I post up a video saying, I don't know, I hate large US stocks or I hate commercial property, I will get no comments. If I mention anything other than cryptocurrency trading being the future of a global utopia, I literally get death threats. So if you think that your investment class is so great and so valuable that you can't sit down and listen to a measured criticism of any weaknesses of it, you don't have an investment platform, you have a cult. So if you want to have your crypto cult, go live in your weird cult. Go storm the Capitol with your fucking bear helmet, enjoy yourself. But treat asset classes as they are, which is opportunities and risks. Class the risk correctly, class the opportunity correctly, allocate your portfolio correctly, stop treating it like a toy. Financial literacy is important and financial stability is important throughout your life. It's not about gambling. If you want to gamble, go to the casino.